Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen, and tonight I am going to share the layouts that I created with the EK Success Minion paper. I started about a week ago and had somewhere between 14 to 16 and maybe almost 20 sheets of this paper. And it is double-sided. It has minions on almost every side. There were some that are just patterns that match the rest, but there's pretty much a minion on, there is a minion on either one side or the other, or both. So I don't really have any need for minions anymore. I'm sure when I bought this, there was probably something that I thought, oh, this would be perfect. I do scrapbook like movie tickets and stuff like that, so that could have been a thought. It was about 6 years ago. I don't remember. So I decided I was tired of having this on my shelf. I wanted to pull this down, use it up, and get this out of here. I do not go through paper pads that often, so I really wanted to get this out of here. So this is what I started with, and it had 36 sheets, but over the course of the last 6 years, I'm guessing I've used 15 to 7, I don't know. Anyway, I had about 15 sheets of paper left in here, full sheets. So I've already shared some of these. This was the first one that started me on this. I thought, oh, I can use some of this unique paper. I didn't mind the minions. And of course the words unique fit because me and my son are pretty unique. So this is just a random page, did some inking on, used some American Crafts for my title, little stories, and used some other American Crafts and pink paisley to decorate. And any ink, well, all inks you're going to see are Ranger. These are Distress inks. Find a good place to put them. So this is what started me wanting to use up this paper. I dog sat my Neff pup, and so I started using the paper on the layouts that I was creating for him. So everything that you see on most of these pages are all 100% minion paper. So this one had stripes, like a little banners of minions, and so I took another sheet of minion paper, trimmed it into the right size, and then just put it to where it covered the minion. And then I put some washi tape that's dark brown, is a washi tape, and then this light brown, and I used that on quite a few of the pages. Already missing Dad and Mom. And then this is the same situation. This has minions all over it, this red background paper, but because it's really vague, you can't see it unless you're looking for it. So this is another one that I use. I mean, all the pages have the minions on the back. Some more American Crafts. This is Shimelle. Some Ranger embossing, and just some random stickers that I was trying to use up. Trying to keep this in order because this is the order. So this is not from that collection. So I did not, when I started doing this, it's like 14 pages long, this set of my Neff pup. Yes, he was here for 4 days and I created 14 layouts. Don't judge me. So there are 6 layouts in the 14 that are this Honey and Spice by Heidi Swapp. So they're just in here. Figured if I was sharing my layouts, I'd go ahead and share these. I did use some Ranger Distress inks, and this is a Scrap-a-Sketch number 5 from the Scrap-a-Sketch Facebook group. And this is 100% Heidi Swapp, or at least the papers are. And then this is another one. So I want every page to be facing a matching set. So if it was minion paper, both layouts will be minion. So there's 14 pages, so they're even. So this is actually the offcuts from this. So when I cut this triangle out, it created this. And then this triangle created this. This cut. Oops. And so I just tucked in this Heidi Swap paper back here in the background. And then use some of the washi that I've used on the other page. Titled it Little Dude. This one's just titled Love. And then I don't have any ink on this one, which is pretty unusual for me, but I felt like this paper had some like mixed media. So then I alternate and do the Minion paper next. So here's more Minion paper. And this is called Scrap Security. This is why I was scrapbooking. My dog was protecting the door, and my Neff pup was under my chair protecting me, I guess. This is Ranger Delusion Shimmer Spray in Polished Jade. I got some Tim Holtz on here. This is Paige Evans. Got some Park Lane gemstones on here. And this one just has a bunch of layering. This has 3 layers plus the pictures that I added. This one had a banner of Minions down here, which I covered with this and this washi. And also had a Minion up here, which is where my cluster went. This is also Paige Evans. Oh, I gotta get some ink or some glue down on this. I think I moved this a couple times, and so it's not sticking. This is from Color Study by Vicki Boutin. And then some Ranger Distress inks are in here, some flowers. And then this is back to the Heidi Swap. And this was my design team sketch for scrapbookingwithanemarie.com. And she had like some gears here and here, and I just took my Ranger dauber and just made little circles. And I love the way that it turned out. Added a little extra color, and I like just bringing this big circle in with this because it's got all these other geometrics on here with these shapes, and then like these little spots. So back to see more of my Neff pup and my sweet girl. She didn't look very sweet there. I just noticed how mean she looks. And then this is the matching page, and it has the same papers on here. So I used this paper is in behind here, so this is cut out on my Cricut, so this dog bone's showing, and then I did tearing here and here and here, and then I embossed this with some Wow and Ranger. I used Ranger embossing pins, and then used Wow embossing powder. So, and then more of that washi. So these will go on the page together, and I went ahead and did the little circles on there. And then more circles. This page, this is probably one of my favorites. So this paper, I loved this paper with these polka dots on here. And it had every one of these circles is covering a minion. So it had minions all over the page. And so I just cut circles that would cover. I mean, like if you look real close, there's a little foot here. And like he's holding a guitar or something, and you could see part of the guitar. But if you're not paying attention, you know, if you're not looking for it, you would not see that. It's not, you know, obvious. So I cut the circles out of my Cricut and then just added some embellishments. This is us getting ready to go to bed, so I used some Moon and Stars, titled it Sweet Dreams. And then to match this page, this background paper, I had other ideas for just completely covering it because there's a huge minion here. And then all these circles, once again, are minions. And I was like, you know what, why can't I do that again? And then just put a bigger circle here. So that's what I did, and I really love the way this turned out. This is the next morning, and I'm taking him home. I titled it There's No Place Like Home. Used some Park Lane gems. Some of these, I don't even know where these little black ones came from. I used some blue stickles, put little puppy face and paws on here. And I really, really love the way that this page turned out. And it's going to look great next to this one. So I use the same colors and everything. And again, covered the entire thing. The only thing you can't, there's little hair right here. So you wouldn't know it's there. And then I have 2 pages of Heidi Swap again and did some tearing. And so these are matching pages. And so I cut an 8x8 out of this one and then an 8x8 out of this one and then switched them so that they would look great together. And use some, this is from the Shimelle American Crafts, and I just titled it Wonder Where She Went, because that's the dogs waiting for me to come home because I had just run out for a few minutes. Used some distress inks just as little dots on the page to bring a little color in, and I really like how simple this is. I did a lot of layering of the Heidi Swap papers and some washi. Took a journaling note card that I got from a friend, and journaled about why I've got this picture of the dogs just sitting there. I distressed these, no, I didn't distress them. Well, I guess I kind of did. I took my distress ink pads by Ranger and just used, I think, walnut stain on the outside of all 3 of these little torn pieces that I tore off of some of the Heidi Swap paper. And I did the same with this one. I did this one on the inside of the square, and then I did this one on the outside of the square. And then this bone is cut out from the page 2 pages ago that had the bone down at the bottom. This is the cutout I made, so I thought, well, no point in not using it. So I did, and titled this Snap a Photo. So this Heidi Swap paper had cameras on it, and I had a little triangle from where I had cut it from that first page that you saw. And so I didn't know really what I could do with the triangle, so I just cut all the little cameras out and tucked them into where you couldn't see. They weren't full cameras, except this one that I put up on foam. And I used some of the blue, I think I used Mermaid Lagoon, yeah. And just originally, I'll be honest, I made 3 dots here, 3 dots here, and 3 dots here. And this one was really a big dot, so I was trying to dab it a little so it wouldn't be so, it had a lot of depth and it was going to start sinking into the paper, so I didn't want that. And so I kind of tapped it a little and it smeared. So we just smeared the whole thing. It's fine. I still like the way it came out. I really just wanted to bring this blue in some more. This is from another one of the American Crafts. And so I brought this heart and this word always in, which also came from that same set. So it's the same color, but wanted to bring some blue in. So I did the dots, but I really like the way that it is on here anyway. So there's that. And then the last 2 pages of the Minion paper for this dog layout. This was 1 piece of paper. This is pretty much 1 piece of paper. Now I've got a white background back here. This is 1 piece of paper. The back side of this had this on the top and bottom, but there was a big huge minion right here. And then this gray. And so I tore these off and then I flipped it, and I was going to use this full and still have just a little bit of white showing, but decided to tear enough to where I could mat around in some places, and then just titled it Headed Home. This is heat embossed. It is in my own handwriting, which I am not a fan of, but I've been told putting my handwriting in a book is important. So I'm trying to write some titles every once in a while, but ugh. So I used some of that same washi, some gold stickles. This came from a Simple Stories I Am collection sticker sheet. That's one of my next ventures. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stickers left on this page to get rid of, but then not get rid of, to utilize on a page. that I also have an entire collection, which has another one of these sticker sheets. So I'm going to be doing some videos using those up, but not like this where I'm trying to use it up like on something non-themed. I have some pictures that I definitely will be scrapbooking that they will be perfectly fitted for. So anyway, this is taking the pup home, and the final page for this series of layouts is this one. And I had already done this one. Yes, it's a caramel apple. It has nothing to do with the dog, you think. So I had, this is what my sister brought me back when she went to Tennessee. And I was bringing her puppy, and she gave me a caramel apple. It was not a fair trade, but it was a good apple. So I wanted these to be similar. So I had already created this layout. So I brought in this same red and green paper. I used this same paper, but I switched them in their direction. I did some tearing and embossing on this page as well. And that is how I used up the majority of my minion paper. So after I was done with these layouts, I had a few things left over, no full papers. So I used some of the minion paper. I cut the strips and actually left the minions on because it says unique, just like with the page with my son. This is my daughter. And just like with my son, she and I are very unique as well. So everything except the base page is from the Minion collection. This stripe, all the borders here for this paper, this is, all these are matted, and all I had left of paper was little bitty strips. So I just built them. I Frankenstein them together. I've done that in a few videos that if you're interested in watching, but I mean, I literally just line them up, tape them down, turn it, cut it, and do the next side. So this is all Frankenstein. I don't know if you can tell in the videos, but I mean, even up close, I'm looking now, even up close, I don't, I don't think it's very obvious at all that I Frankenstein all those borders from even a piece of paper this big. So, it's possible. So, and then this background paper, it was white cardstock by Colourbox, and I used some mixed media with my Ranger inks. I think it was citron and mustard. Yeah, mustard something or another. Mustard seed, I think. Sorry. It's after midnight, so I'm a little tired. So anyway, this is all from the Shimelle collection. These and this word laugh all came from her, the sticker set, the American Crafts. Oh, here it is right here. Thickers Let's Play. And then this was from a cut apart on one of her, the papers, the cut apart papers, 12 by 12. And I just cut it out and fussy cut the actual little wood planks and put one on here so it would bring it all together, as well as the mixed media on the background. And other than that, I did a little journaling over here. This is actually from the Shimelle collection as well. And I guess that's about it. So after all of that, and lots and lots of trying to be creative and figuring out how to take 15 or some odd sheets of super themey paper and turning it into all of those pages that I just shared. This is what I have left of the paper pad. If this fell on the floor, or I would have put it on one of the layouts that I just shared, because it is the same thing, but it had fallen and I didn't see it. Other than that, this is what I have. So this will all go in the trash because it is like, nothing. I may keep this anyway, but yes, I know, I'm so extra. So I'm really, really excited that this is now able to be put in the trash can and be done with it. Well, I will actually use it for a back cover for when I'm doing inking and stuff. So yay for this. I can throw this away and not have it in my stash anymore. I am excited about that. So the next thing that I am going to be working on, I'm going to get started on some birthday present or Christmas presents soon. But I will continue working on my daily pages, and I definitely want to do a video probably tomorrow since it's so late now. I want to do a video with mixed media, and I'll get my box up here and show you all how I do things. I mean, like this mixed media I did through a stencil I created, and actually it wasn't a stencil, it was something left over from something I had created for one of my Disney labs. So I experiment a lot. So I don't, I'm not a pro. I've just been doing mixed media and using sprays and inks and ink pads really for the last like 6 months. So it will be my tips and tricks and things that I've tried and things that I've loved, and I'll show some of my the what things look like and how I did them, and just simple stuff like that. It probably will not be a very long video since, like I said, I am not a pro. But I do want to, I've had some people ask some questions about how I've done things in the past. So I'm going to get that done and post that hopefully tomorrow. So I hope you all have a great rest of the weekend. And I hope that you are able to have fun and with your family and friends, and that you are well. And I hope that you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love. Happy scrapping.